and a warm welcome to today's hands-on bootcamp where you will get to build a fully working application in just under 30 minutes. I am 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗂𝘂𝗵𝗂𝘀 and I'm the Director for Community and Partnerships with OpenWeaver. OpenWeaver is a SaaS technology company supporting over 1 million developers worldwide build their ideas faster by reusing open source software. Our vision is to reinvent digital realization. Very simply put, we'd like to improve the way applications are built. We do this by investing in a unique combination of both public domain knowledge and artificial intelligence. So coming to today's bootcamp, this is an integral part of our OpenWeaver community initiatives. The OpenWeaver community is a body of like-minded technology enthusiasts and open source contributors who have come together with the vision of contributing to the world of open source and sharing how complex use cases can be developed by reusing open source. Over the last few weeks, we have run several such open source development bootcamps on a variety of topics, such as building your own AR-powered e-commerce site, building your own ChatGPT, building a breast cancer prediction engine, building an object detection engine, basics of Python programming, and many more to come. Through these bootcamps, you will realize that technology does not have to be complex and definitely does not have to be developed in silos. You will see how you can take a solution that is pre-built, in fact pre-built by many people in the world, and then you can build on top of it and share it back such that your solution can now be accessed by many other people in the world who can then further build on top of your ideas, thereby accelerating this virtuous cycle of innovation and also helping you scale your ideas and bring it to life much faster. So with that brief introduction, I will now welcome our mentor for today's session, Pooja Agarwal, who is a senior developer advocate with OpenWeaver.
Hello everyone, welcome to this session on building your own speech emotion detector. So let's get started by getting into the agenda for the day. So first of all, we will do an introduction on your speech emotion detection. What is this tool and how it could be useful? Then we will actually do a code snippet exercise as we discuss the concepts of this interesting kit that we have as a solution source for today. And finally, we'll get into the entire development part wherein you would see that how we could work around with multilingual languages as well. So those could be also detected, and accordingly, after detecting those multilingual languages, we're going to actually say what kind of emotion is being attached to those kind of audios. So let's now first check out the demo of the kit itself. Okay, so this is our solution source that you are going to set up today. I'll help you guide, I'll guide you as to how you will set this kit onto your systems. In the meanwhile, I just want to help you check out this solution source as to what it is capable of. So let me just upload a particular file, okay, and show you its capabilities and get into the kit. I have some interesting audio files to showcase. I'll showcase you an audio with that I captured from the internet, which is a French based audio. I just put into transcribe. So first of all, there is an option to also record my speech, but yeah, I'll show you that as well. But let me also showcase that not just English, but it could actually detect an ample number of languages. It could detect from French, German, Spanish, Russian, Portuguese. I mean, the language you could think of. It could also detect local Indian languages as well, from Tamil, Telugu, etc. But right, so we just want. I would also want to open Google Translate so that we are able to properly check the transcribed part. So first of all, what is happening? Whatever has been uploaded as a file that gets transcribed into that particular language text, the same text, let's say detect the language, we paste it here, and then we can see the emotions that are showcased for this text is that it is more of a joyous, I mean, it's most of the part of this text is joyful, and then a part of it is also has a having 21% part is sadness, and the rest of it has been divided as 5% anger and fear. So the context is these are the four emotions that could be detected by our kid today. We would check in English exactly what this audio was about. So my birthday, I was born in the middle of summer. I was born on July 19th. My birthday for me is a bit special because it's a bit of a normal day. So that seems he is confused. He's saying special, but it's a normal day. Most people don't think about it. They're on vacation. I don't have too many messages. I don't have too many letters. Just my parents, myself, my days generally. I'm on vacation. It's kind of a normal day. So he's reiterating and sort of it's a boring as well as not he wants to be on a vacation, seems like that there are no extraordinary things. It's a bit strange, but for once there is no great disappointment. I'm lucky to always be on a vacation on my birthday. So yeah, he is confusing a bit, and accordingly still the model has performed very well enough with this file. Let us try to record something. Give me it's a beautiful day. The sun shined brightly, and we had an amazing breeze blowing. In fact, it happened to be one of the most interesting days that I could have for the entire week. Let me stop and check transcribing it. Right, so so it's able to look at the accuracy and aptness. First, I mistakenly had used give me, so it has taken that. So it's a beautiful day. The sun shined brightly, and we had an amazing breeze flowing. So it's able to state that it was a 100% choice statement. If it is not confusing, then it would 100%ly put it into the category of particular emotion. So this is our kit for today. And now, before we get into the concepts for today's session, I would want you to set up this kit onto your systems. So currently, you're viewing this session on our community platform. Our community platform, you would see that this page is present for you, and you're checking the live streaming session. Under the resources section, you will find an option to set up this kit that I just showcased to you. So we'll set up this kit together. Also, you would see that if you scroll down, you can check out there are some very interesting polling questions for you that you can interact with during the session itself. So go ahead and put down your votes so that I can check out what what are your views, and what kind of questions have interested people more. All right, and then we will get into setup of the kit. So click on the candy one click kit button. This takes you to the community page. On the community page, you see that we have listed down a description of what this kit is about. And then further, we are actually stating what are the required instructions that you could follow for Windows or for Linux as well as Mac operating systems. So for now, who is following it up with me on Windows can just you can skip the steps, follow what I'm doing, and set this kit onto your systems. So click on this one click installer. This will download a zip file. Okay, so you would just say show in folder. This zip file will be set up onto your local systems. Say right click and say extract all. Double click this folder, double click this batch file, say more info, run anyway. So this will automatically start setting up this kit that we just showcased onto your systems. It will ask you for permissions to install, let's say, yeah, Visual Studio, etc. So just say yes, and then it will keep downloading most of the dependencies, libraries automatically onto your systems. So let this setup happen. In the meanwhile, we will go through the concepts for today's session. All right. So we would start with our discussion. with our speech emotion detection. So we know that speech emotion detection, this does carry a lot of importance in today's time. The reason is that as humans, we speak a certain language, and based on the language, we are able to communicate with one another. But the important part is, even with the words or the linguistic properties, we want the human computer interaction to get enhanced beyond just the spoken words, if it is able to identify the emotions attached to it. So today we are going to talk about the you know use cases or usefulness of this system that we are going to build today. This system wherein we are saying that it is useful, or it is used for enhancing the human computer interaction. We know that speech emotion detection will enable computers and AI systems to respond and adapt based on user emotions, somehow improving our user experience. Today we see that machines have surrounded circumpassed the interaction that we used to have with humans. Most of us are working on the phones, most of us are working on our systems, on our tabs, and hence it is very essential that the human computer interaction be of top notch performance. Also, this could be helpful in customer sentiment analysis. So by analyzing the emotions in customer interactions, speech emotion detection will help businesses understand and respond to how the customers want the products to be, how, what kind of, based on the feedback that the customers are providing, the enhancement can happen, the improvement can happen, the businesses can actually accordingly act. Then comes in a third aspect that we would also say comes into play, which is your mental health monitoring. So speech emotion detection, it actually aids in identifying and monitoring individuals emotional states. Okay, so if you are able to identify based on the speech of the person what kind of emotional state that person could be in, that will help in improving the mental health and assessing the mental health and providing the required support to individuals. So that's why speech emotion detection is a very interesting use case of sorts, and it could also enhance in a personalized learning. So when we say personalized learning, it could be incorporated in educational institutions and settings to allow for adaptive learning, experiences that are tailored to students emotional states, promoting higher engagement and academic success for them. So these are a couple of things that are suggestive to how they could help in improvement with the help of this speech emotion detection that you can extend beyond just what you can see as of now. So what are emotions? You could actually put them into positive or negative emotions. For today we have four categories for this particular kit. You could expand if you would like. We are able to speak about the joy, we are able to speak about the sadness, we are able to talk about the anger and fear as a prospective emotion from this kit today. So it could be either in, we if you want to work around a solution, we would either put it into a positive emotion or a negative emotion of sorts. What would be the general architecture that needs to be followed? So initially we would need a speech. That speech would be put through across a speech processing system. That speech processing system will try to gather the physical quantities such as your pitch, your energy. There would be various other physical quantities that would be extracted from the speech, human speech, and from that it would be separated into different features. Based on those features, say from F1 to Fn, those features are going to get passed through a classifier, and according to the certain set of features being present in the speech, we would say a person is joyous, how much percentage the person seems to be joyous, sad, angry, etc. So accordingly we will have to put it into different emotional states. So this will be the general architecture that is followed while creating the kit. But we will now talk about the tools or the libraries that have helped build up the solution. So first of all we talk about Whisper. So Whisper is a speech recognition engine. that has been built by OpenAI, and it was extensively trained on 680, 600, some like 680,000 hours of multilingual and multitask supervised data. So if you look around it from the depth perspective, this is a pretty huge amount of multilingual and multitask data that it was used to train, and hence it does provide a pretty accurate result in terms of transcription. If you just saw, speech to text transcription was pretty accurate, very very accurate. And the interesting part is Whisper can transcribe in multiple languages, nearly hundreds of languages it could support also currently. And the high accuracy and ease of use which this Whisper platform has will allow, helps developers like us to add voice interfaces to much wide variety of applications. So yes, Whisper is actually one of the most interesting speech recognition tool being introduced by OpenAI that we are using today to get through an interesting solution. So we want to talk about the architecture a bit. We want to also understand this automatic speech recognition system that we are saying has been trained, and it is actually good for. It has been trained on a large and diverse data set. Somehow it has improved the you know the robustness of this platform. It is able to give us an interesting outcome that is being required. So, coming to this important part of your Whisper architecture. So, this architecture is a simple end-to-end, one which is implemented as an encoder-decoder transformer. Your input audio is split into 30-second chunks, converted into a log mel spectrogram, and then passed into an encoder. A decoder is trained to then predict the corresponding text caption, intermixed with special tokens that direct the single model to perform tasks such as language identification, phrase level timestamps, multilingual speech transcription, and everything to speech English speech translation. So it's pretty much more comfortable with your English speech translation. So the encoder block and then the decoder block are then mapped in a certain manner that it is able to perform the various language translation transcription task, and primarily it is focused on the language English. So the another model that we have used here is the XML RoBERTa model. So this XML RoBERTa, we want to talk about it a bit, but before we talk about the XML RoBERTa, I want to have a quick question from you guys as to how what kind of speech transcription would you like to have. So when I ask you this question, is it okay to do it in this just an English language for you, or you would prefer capturing your voice in any other language, and then would want this model to detect the emotions accordingly? If you could put that across in the chat, that would be really interesting. So also so this robota model, this was developed by Facebook's AI research team, and it was named after a very popular female name. So robota is identified as a very popular female name, and this is based on the transformer bird transformer model. And your bird transformer is again a bidirectional encoder representations from transformer, which is masked language model on 100 languages using more than 2 terabytes of filtered common crawl data. So this model has been also very intelligently being trained on huge amount of humongous amount of data, with which it has been able to give us the expected results. So this robota captures the conceptual relationships between words and their surrounding context. So this is very important when we talk about the model where we are trying to uh, if you talk about the features of it, it's a pre-trained language understanding model. So since it has been trained on a large corpus of text data, it is pretty much enabled to understand and interpret language with a deep contextual meaning. It can be fine tuned more for specific tasks such as text classification, name entity resolution, question answering, and more. Much more. Whatever you can think of across natural language processing. So contextual word representation is what is helping us with the establishment of relationship between words and their context, so that it is able to generate more accurate responses accordingly. And then the multilingual capability has obviously helped in the significant advancement in various fields because of this. So we quickly now want to talk about the challenges in the detection. So one thing is there are small data sets. Sometimes you have imbalanced classes. Noisy annotations are only a few of the opticals when you want to develop an accurate model. So there may be chances that if you try it with the language Hindi, it may not be able to, or maybe Punjabi, which is another local language, it may not give you completely accurate results. There is an interpersonal variation. The same emotion can be perceived and expressed differently by different people depending on the culture, gender, and personality, making it hard to be generalized for the model. Okay, so cross domain validation is when we say models trained on one data set or domain, they might not work on different contexts, require adaptation or transfer learning. So this is one of the generalized one which will actually showcase you the expected responses. However, we now quickly want to move and check out uh, check out an interesting snippet exercise as we go through the model here. I would actually showcase you various other examples, but I want you to also do a very simple code snippet exercise with me. Okay, so for doing this code snippet exercise, you should be already on the community page. On the community page, you have an option to go to kandi.openweaver.com. Click here, and also on the page you would see at the bottom there is a simple exercise available for you. What we are going to do, we are going to change the voice of from let's say from a male voice to a female voice, using a very interesting library called change voice in py Okay, so this is one of the most interesting libraries in Python, and we want to use it to actually change, the speech, or let's say the type of the voice. So I'll open a new notebook, paste this code there. I should have the pyttx3 already downloaded, and then if the audio was audible to you, then you would be able to see that if I'll run it again, it actually spoke hello world in male and female voices. We could also say, hello everyone, welcome to the session. And I would save this first and then run it again. So I think this was a, this was a text that was, in broader sense, capable enough to be heard by most of you. Now let us understand this code snippet, this entire solution source. So before you go ahead and set up this solution source, you just have to say Y and press enter. That way the Jupyter notebook will automatically open for all of you. Initially, we have made all the required imports with Gradio, Torch, Whisper. Whisper is again the speech recognition engine. Transformers is what is helping us create the pipeline. So within the transformer itself, we has our RoBERTa. Torch, Gradio, these are also substitutes that are used for radio, used for the interface that you're seeing to upload the file to use the microphone recording. And Torch is what again is used for various tasks for machine learning. So first of all, we load our Whisper's small model here. OpenAI's Whisper is being used, and then we check for the device whether a CPU, GPU is available or CPU. Then we establish a pipeline where automatic speech recognition is happening, and we've mentioned the chunk length as some 30. Device has been set to CPU because we are using the CPU here. From Torch, we use the MCT model. All right, and then in this text classification pipeline, is where we use the XML emoji. So basically what we are doing is this is helping us in the emotion classification. We further go and use the transcribe method. Here the microphone audio is being recorded, or either a file upload, whatever you use gets passed as a parameter. If there is no microphone being detected, neither a file is being detected, then a warning is given, you have uploaded an, oh, warning, you have uploaded an audio file and used the microphone is not none, sorry. So then if both are done, microphone as well as an audio file, then it would be giving a warning that you have actually done both the tasks. The recorded file for the microphone will be used and the uploaded file will be discarded. In that case, whatever has been added to the microphone, that would be recorded. Else if microphone is none and file is none, then you have to that will give an instruction, either of the one you have to use to give an input, or else it will check what is being used, if microphone is used, or else the file upload is being used here. So file will get fetched here. Within the pipe you have your batch size being already mentioned, and then you are trying to get the text from the automatic speech recognition. You get the output from here. This is the emotion detection, where we actually use transcribe to transcribe the audio, get the text result. The emotion classifier is applied on the text result, and then whatever emotion is being generated, that gets in the form of an output with the help of a label and a score. So we see that we get a percentage as well as what particular emotion has been uh, present in the audio speech that is being created. So this app interface, this is just for the UI part, the recording audio, the uploading as file. Okay, this record audio and uploading as file, and this space where the detection emotion and the transcription is being showcased. So the transcription in the language of speech or audio, and the detective emotion. So these are the labels that are being there for these 3 4 boxes that are present. And as we click, we get our outputs here, and we can launch it in the browser. So we'll launch it in this adjoining browser here. And you may also give me any input that you would like that I should test against this mic. So if you put it in the comments, I would actually try to test that particular audio, or else let me just check another form of audio. It's been a tiring day, but I'm trying to stay strong, and I feel like getting back home quickly. So let's see when we transcribe what is the outcome that it showcases here. Okay, I just, since I mentioned tiring day, but I'm trying to stay strong, feel like getting back home quickly. So it does showcase a major part of it as sadness, and still it is joyous or so. Let us try another sort of language. Maybe we'll try this German and see how would our model perform, whether it will be able to detect or not. We'll try to test all of it against this Google Transcribe. Okay, the transcription has taken a bit longer. This seems to be a larger amount of audio file. 2 minutes 21 seconds. Should have been transcribed by now. Okay. It's taking a bit longer than anticipated. Okay. So it was a really big file. We'll have to check how big this audio. Put it across here. It's able to detect it as German. Okay, and it is in English. Just today is May 17th, and I live here in a suburb of Paris in France at the time of the Corona crisis, and we are now still in quarantine in France. Normally until Monday, May 11th. Nevertheless, one naturally asks oneself, what does it look like afterwards? We already know. Okay, so this should have fear, right? It has anger, it has sadness, it has fear, and joy is at the bottom. So you could see it could be, it is regarding being away from home and during the Corona crisis. So yeah, you could see the emotion attached is obviously not as we expect. We'll just test. Let's test German, maybe transcribe it. This is only 42 seconds, so should be still quicker as compared to that 2 minute 21 seconds audio. So, as we discussed, this model being run, you could put up your questions in the comments so that I could take them once we finish discussing and showcasing you the demo of the solution. Okay. All right. It's been translated. Has been a quick one. I'll check it quickly once again. This is Spanish. I wasn't aware it's Spanish, so it's not German. I am Gracia from Mexico. I live in the state of Colima. In my state, you can see two volcanoes. One is fire, and the other one is coal. My city is a seismic zone because the fire volcano is an active volcano, and it makes it tremble often. However, I really like being from there because it is a beautiful and peaceful place. The weather is warm most of the year, but there are times when you can see snow on the volcano. Volcanoes also serve to orient people because they indicate where the north is. So this is a obvious a joyful one. So you see that 96% it is joy, only 3% fear, and 1% is sadness. All right. So we did saw a lot of language detection. Sorry, a lot of long languages that this could detect, and you could also experiment with the record audio if you would like. And yeah, this is the solution kit for today. Let's have some quick questions from you guys now. So, all right. So let's have some questions, and we have two questions from our community members. One of the question asked us, "What are the different speech recognition libraries apart from Whisper that I can use?" And if you could mention some tools around speech recognition. So Kaldi is a popular open source toolkit for speech recognition. You can use that. You can also use Google Cloud Speech to Text, which is again a cloud-based speech recognition service provided by Google. There's Microsoft Azure speech service, that is also a good one. You have Mozilla's Deep Speech. You have Pocket Phoenix, uh, which is also a lightweight speech recognition library. So yeah, these could be some solutions that you could, check out apart from the one that we have used. Another question from one of our community members is, does Whisper require an OpenAI access keys? I think this is a very important and interesting one. This seems like the person who's asked is very interested. And the answer to this is no. So this library is able, it is freely available to all, and you don't require any OpenAI's access keys. You can install it from PyPy. So yeah, it's good to use. You can just use it and set it up from PyPy. Available without any key required from OpenAI's end. Any more questions that you have? You could put it across quickly, and For now, I would suggest you that there were three key things that we tried to cover in today's session. We talked about the importance of speech emotion detection. We talked a bit basics on what places it could be useful for. We then discussed about Whisper, which is the most latest trending speech recognition engine that is being used by OpenAI, as well as many other developers for speech recognition. And then we used RoBERTa, a XML RoBERTa, a transformer BERT model that helped in classifying the emotions properly into varied category of emotions with based on different percentages as well. So you could now go and check out how you can take up the assessments which is present on the community platform and get yourself certified after you answer the questions that are present in the form. So I hope this was helpful, and that's it from my end today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Pooja, for that lovely session. For all our viewers and bootcamp participants, we hope you enjoyed the session and found the use case that was presented valuable. Please note that all of you who participated will be eligible to receive certificates for this bootcamp. In order to receive your certificate, please complete the assessment by answering two very simple questions. You can do that by scrolling down from on the same page where you're viewing the bootcamp today. You will find a Take Assessment button. Click that button and complete the assessment. You should then receive your certificates in less than a week from today. We will be conducting such bootcamps frequently and regularly. So if you'd like to stay updated with our program calendar, do join our community on community.openweaver.com. This community is where we will connect with you. It helps us receive feedback from you. It helps us understand topics for future bootcamps. But also you can use this community space to collaborate with each other, to ask us any questions and receive clarification if you'd like. Or just share your projects and anything else that you would like to in the world of open source. So do join our community and also follow us on our social media channels to stay updated on information and trends in the world of open source. With that, I would like to thank you all for your participation today, and I look forward to seeing you in yet another bootcamp very soon. Thank you and good evening.